AdamHarry back again. I've got a special guest with me.
I'm Stable Abe.
And we're taking a look at the new Shadowcaster expansion. Again, we just got back from Gen Con not too long ago. It got a little beat up in transportation back.
Yeah, what are you guys doing here?
We shoved it in a bag and then the airport got a hold of it. So I don't know which airport it was. I don't blame the TSA though.
You didn't bubble wrap it properly?
Nope, absolutely not.
You guys didn't spend like 5 hours after Gen Con carefully wrapping and packaging all the loot?
I'm shaking my head. Nope. We just threw it all in our bags.
Unprofessionalism.
And we said, you know what? Let's get these back to town and open them on up. So back of the box, as you can see here. And let's go ahead and pause and open this bad boy up.
All right.
All right, we've got the stuff unboxed. Here's that. We'll just toss that to the side for now.
Threw away the box because it was already damaged.
Yeah. It's not like I was saving it, I was going to open it. So
you weren't going to leave this unopened for like 50 years and try to make some money off of it?
No, I'm going to play with it. I'm totally going to play with the ship. So there is the dial on the ship. I like these large ship expansions too because you actually get a mission in each one of them. So it's just neat, something neat to try.
I would like to play more of the missions.
Yeah. And here's the mobile firing arc rules as well. It is an action, and then you have to spend the action to actually rotate the arc. So. And
they've had to actually build a whole new token for this thing.
Yep.
That's totally new type of token.
They go over the setup example where you can actually rotate.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but this is the first ship that it's a pseudo 360 turret, where you actually have to control the turret. Honestly, there's a couple of ships though, a couple of pilots we'll get to see here in a second. I would just leave the arc facing forward most of the game and just double up that way, but you'll see what we're talking about here. Anyway, that's the rules for that. Here's some of the extras. You got the base and then stuff for the card. Abe, why don't you take this out and I'll work on this guy so we can take a look at the ship real fast. Beautiful ship.
Yeah. I mean,
fantastic.
I think the question I have to ask over at this point with this Wave 9, with how well they're done with all the ships, is what is actually the difference between a pre-painted model, an action figure, and a toy? Right?
That's a good question.
At this point, are these just not a nice toy or an action figure that you get to play a game with?
Man, I don't know. I would play games with my action figures. So.
Oh, yeah.
But look at that thing. It's fantastic. We're going to zoom in just a little bit more. You can see here. You know what this reminds me of? And I'm probably going to get shot or stabbed for saying
Star Trek ship?
Yeah. It's the Defiant. It reminds me of the Defiant, which I love the Defiant, by the way. So that's not a bad thing. I'm not talking
I don't know anything
smack.
about Star Trek, but it definitely kind of has that.
Yeah.
But I actually think that
super cool.
There's actually some good reason behind that, I think.
Yeah?
So
this is a transport ship, right?
Well, it's a transport ship. Well, it's kind of a freighter. But I think Rebels drew really heavily on some of the concept art for the original Star Wars, which was done by, what's his face?
The guy that just did the...
But who also did a bunch of concept art for Star Trek.
Yeah.
God.
Help us out in the comments. We know we're going to hit this later on.
Yeah.
We're going to find out. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
Because they just did a new Star Trek reveal.
Right, which was based on his concept art. So I think perhaps it's not surprising, given that he did concept art for both, and given that Rebels in particular drew on his concept work.
True.
That some of the stuff that was designed from Rebels might look a little bit Star Trek-y at times.
Yeah, but it's not a bad thing. I don't think that's bad at all. I love the design of the ship, actually. I think it looks really cool. I love the they're not warp nacelles, but the engines.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of one of the weird things you don't often see on big ships, detached engines. That's probably the thing that makes it look Star Trek-y.
Yeah.
You don't normally see that. But you've almost got a little Millennium Falcon outline. Within this round thing on the prongs here.
Yeah.
So it's not...
Yeah, if you look at it from this way, if this was the front of the ship.
Yeah, it would almost look kind of Millennium Falcon.
But it's not. This is the
So I think it's a pretty cool design.
Yeah, I like it.
It also kind of reminds me of if this had been a big fan in here, one of some kind of helicopter hovercraft thing.
Very, very true. Maybe some crazy model at home will
which you see in all the sci-fi stuff.
Right.
And I mean, it looks like it looks pretty heavily armed with all the guns on it.
Yeah, seriously, that's not something I want to be in front of when it starts pulling that trigger. And the turret up top.
Yeah.
So, very cool. Abe, what do we got next?
We got several bits of cardboard here.
All right, we can zoom
literally some cardboard junk here.
It totally is. That's actually one of the cool things about this ship. We'll see here in a moment, but the Shadowcaster can actually manipulate the battlefield with dropping his own debris clouds. Or debris, depending on where you're from. We've got the ships.
Wrong land?
Exactly. We've got Ketsu Onyo here. We've got Ventress,
Yeah.
Asajj. They're both really good.
I'm just glad we got Asajj Ventress. That's cool.
We've got the Shadowport Hunter on the left here, and then Sabine Wren on the right. Sabine also crossover.
Yep.
Scum and Villainy / Rebels, depending on when.
Yeah.
Yep. So very cool there. I'm glad we're starting to see that more, where there's pilots crossing over. Fingers crossed. I keep hoping for like a Han Solo Scum and Villainy version. We're probably never gonna get one.
Or an Imperial Han Solo.
Yeah, early days.
Early days.
It'd be like Pilot Skill 2.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Anyway.
Feels real bad about everything all the time.
We're nerds. Anyway, moving on. We've got more tokens. There's your shields. There's the dial.
Is this for a mission? The hyperspace token?
I think so. It also just looks cool.
Yeah.
So. But there's the dial, so very cool. And we do get that cool new hyperspace token. So moving that, we've got the debris fields, which we've talked about already. More, I think those are,
objectives
and stuff like that. There's the arc to tell which arc it's in, and then I think that's the tractor beam as well.
Yeah.
So this ship is weird because it doesn't have a cannon slot, but it kind of has a tractor beam, and we'll get to that. So, Abe, what's up next?
All right, we've got some upgrade cards, and if you were missing upgrade cards in this wave, there's a fair amount with this ship at least.
Oh, because we saw them in the last video. There were quite a few missing, or not quite a few missing.
There's
not a lot of.
There's
upgrades.
not a lot. I mean, the Protector ship has 2. The TIE FO only has like 4.
There were 4 total. One of them was a reprint.
Yeah. The ARC 170 has a few.
Yeah. For sure.
But in particular, this is your Scum ones. So the Protector ship only had 2, but that's made up for Scum because you get a lot out of this.
Yeah, for sure. So let's go over these real quick. We've got the title card here on the left. After you perform an attack that hits, if the defender is inside your mobile firing arc at range 1 or 2, you may assign the defender a tractor beam token. So that's what we were talking about earlier. The ship in the show, I believe, has a tractor beam.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a nod to that tractor beam option. Again, the ship doesn't have the cannon slot, so you can't equip a tractor beam on it, but it's got a pseudo tractor beam. So,
the tractor beam token, when you assign it like this, do you still get to move them, or do you only get to decrease their agility?
That is a good question. So you do get to move them if it's the first. So the first time a small ship is assigned a tractor beam token, you move it. Each turn, it gets to move it. And then for each token that it has on there, I think actually you can see the card for the tractor beam card. Maybe it's not in here. Nope. But for each time, you can look up all the rules online. But for
might be in the pamphlet.
Yeah, each time they're assigned a tractor beam token, they take -1 agility down to 0. Yeah. So it's a great way to lock down those tough ships.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty cool. I'd use that with a higher pilot level.
Yeah, you want to do that to get the most benefit out of it. You probably, you could run like 3 Shadowcasters base in a list, a 100-point list. I wouldn't recommend it.
You couldn't run, Shadowcaster you can only run 1 of anyway.
Right. This is, the base ship, the Lancer class.
You could,
pursuit.
but not with not
yeah, none of them would have Shadowcaster. Yeah. Their base is 33 points. So anyway, moving on. That's the title card. Tactical Jammer, large ship only. Your ship can obstruct enemy attacks.
That's pretty good.
Which is nice. That just makes you the target of those attacks, though, because why take the minus penalty when you can just shoot that other ship?
But the important thing is you only obstruct enemy attacks, so you can attack through your
true.
Your enemy ship.
Your friends know where you're going.
Yeah.
So. Gyroscopic targeting is the next card we're going to look at here. Lancer class pursuit craft only. That's this ship only. At the end of the combat phase, I don't think we've seen this one yet. At the end of the combat phase, if you executed a speed 3, 4, 5 maneuver this round, you may rotate your mobile firing arc. Oh, it's starting to come together.
So if you're moving fast, you can.
That's a modification.
That's a modification, but that's still pretty good. It's a 3, 4, or 5.
Mm-hmm.
There are no speed 5 maneuvers.
Or are there? Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, are there? Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong chart over here.
Yeah.
It might have one. That's my bad. I'm looking at another chart I got left over here.
Yeah, top.
Does it have 5?
It does.
It does have 5. That would
so
make
you've
sense.
got the one. It's a white 5 too, by the way. Which is
all the speed. The important thing is, I think, is look at those speed. Look at that 3 bar. This ship lives at 3. It's got 5 green maneuvers at 3.
Heck yeah! And it's a 5K turn in a large ship. That's like half the field.
That's like half the field. Yeah.
So pretty cool. Well, we showed this off, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was just thinking also this tactical jammer. That'd be pretty cool on the Devastator, right? Or the Decimator.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That'd be a good one.
It's good for any large ship, really.
Yeah. But that ship's tough enough that it can
you can take all the hits. Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, sorry. This is a really good card. If
Yeah.
you're putting another modification on it, and you want to do a little more tricksy stuff.
Well, that frees up your action, I think, too.
Action,
and like Abe pointed out, you're going to be living at that speed 3 spot anyway, so if you're going speed 3, you get to rotate the front. Yeah, it's golden.
Yeah.
Countermeasures, large ship only. Modification, at the start of your combat phase, you may discard this card to increase your agility value by 1 until the end of the round. Then you may remove 1 enemy target lock from your ship. I like that.
That's good.
Yeah, that's going to be very useful for, again, any large ship.
Yeah.
Squirrely ships like Dash would really like that, I think, because upping your agility. Most of the good ships, the large ships, have like 2 agility anyway. Some of them are a little bit trickier. Most of them are slower, but just ditching that to get rid of target locks as well is pretty good.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back to Tactical Jammer again.
Oh, he's got a branch. He's got the light bulb just went off.
I just thought of. I mean, you could do some cool things with like the Falcon or Dash and Biggs in this, right?
Ooh.
Force them to shoot Biggs through the obstructive ship.
Yeah.
Take that dice off.
You're a dirty man.
That's pretty. That's not. You know that's pretty good. Give Biggs that extra survivability. So I like that card a lot. That's survivability.
That's something I'm gonna be playing against later. Thanks, Ed. Last up, we have on the top row here, rigged cargo chute action. Discard this card to drop the cargo token. That was the debris cloud that we saw earlier. The debris. That's the cargo token. It's big. It's a big token.
So here. So we can understand that here are the rules for using cargo right there.
You can see right here how this works. Take the 1 maneuver template and slide it between the rear guides, just like dropping a bomb. Place the cargo token indicated on the upgrade opposite side, just like a bomb. Cargo token is dropped, it's placed under the ship's base, its effects are applied immediately. So cargo tokens count as debris cloud obstacles.
Right.
So you can drop this on a ship and they immediately have to take a debris cloud test. So
there's that.
And now we have the debris cloud token reference card. So taking stress on a crit result, the ship suffers 1 crit damage. That we mentioned that earlier. There's 1 card that you can ignore crits now on obstacle cards. It was one of the other pilots or one of the other cards from a previous video. Right. Same wave though. A ship that is overlapping a debris cloud token during the combat phase may perform attacks. So you don't block their shots, but you can totally mess with people.
Kind of a complicated thing, but
yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah. Up next on the lower ledge here, we have the Black Market Slicer tools. Action: choose a stressed enemy ship at range 1 or 2 and roll 1 attack die. On a hit or crit, remove 1 stress token and deal it 1 face down damage card. There's a lot of ships that don't care about stress. Off the top of my head, Tycho. There's the B-Wing. What's the B-Wing that uses stress as focus? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
His name escapes me right now, but he's been very popular because of Hera Sendual. It's been a combo.
Yep.
Anyway, that'll mess with him. It's an illicit upgrade, which
much like the rig cargo chute's illicit. So.
Yep. Oh yeah, I forgot to call that out. Rig cargo chute's definitely illicit. So that's a 1-point upgrade. Can totally mess with people. So, and you don't discard this card. You just use it as an action. So
yeah,
it's a free damage.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you got a combo to get stress or something out there.
Yep. I mean, who has stress bots? Oh wait. Lats Raditz, Razzie. Sorry. Razzie.
That's Razzie. I'm a Star Wars character.
There you are. Scum only. When defending, you may remove 1 stress token from the attacker to add 1 evade to your roll. So that could be useful.
Yeah.
Especially it's what is the EPT? Push the limit.
Push the limit. Sure.
We've seen that go off.
If they push the limit to get in range of you, to shoot you up, you're like, I'm going to counter that back.
Yeah. And there are some ships that trigger off of having stress.
Sure.
There's certain combos, Kyle Katarn, for instance, when you remove a stress, get a focus.
Right.
That shuts that down.
Anyway, what's interesting with this is it's not an action. It's not once per turn or anything.
Nope. It's if you're defending.
Yeah.
You can choose.
If you get shot several times, you can do that a bunch or something.
Next up, Ketsu Onyo, which is one of the pilots as well. Also comes as a crew member here.
Yep.
At the end of your phase, at the start of your end phase, there we go. You may choose 1 enemy ship inside your firing arc at range 1 or 2. That ship does not remove its tractor beam tokens. Where do we get tractor beam tokens
Yeah.
from?
So, I mean, I guess this would be the one that you would put this and the Shadowcaster on a low pilot level ship.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You could do that, and have it do it at the end of the phase so that they have that tractor token for the next turn.
Yeah.
I still think it's better to do it on a fast pilot level ship.
Yeah.
And then do that and keep it on there.
Yep.
Or use her with something else that gets tractor beam that has a tractor token as a crew on there.
Yep.
But that's
if you have a ship that has
yeah.
a cannon and tractor beam, yeah, totally.
But I mean, that's pretty awesome. For basically 1 point, if you play it right, you can effectively
Shut that ship.
Yeah, make that just take an agility off that ship forever.
Wow, basically. Next up, and it stacks actually,
It stacks.
so you could load it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, that's actually if you have a tractor beam centric list.
Yeah.
Man, you could really mess people up with that.
Yeah.
Just don't lose your tractor. Anyway, now if you could mix in some ion and some stress.
You're like, you're not doing it.
You're just not.
I'm not actually hurting you, but you're not doing anything.
IG88D is probably, I think, one of the most useful cards in this whole set.
Oh yeah.
Because Abe, do the honors on this one.
So he's scum only, 1 point, and you have the pilot ability of each friendly ship with the IG-2000 upgrade card, in addition to your own pilot ability. So
Yeah.
you like bots?
You like brobots.
Everyone gets bots now.
Everyone in the scum can be a brobot.
Yeah, and
they don't get to share their ability with
They don't get to
them,
share their
but they get to
abilities.
use their IG88.
Right, and he's not unique either. Oh, he is unique. Sorry,
He is unique.
He is
Yes.
unique. So you can only have one of him. But yeah, if you want to throw if you want to take 2 of the IG-2000s and then a third ship in there or something.
If you wanted to play epic level play,
epic
you could
level.
get stupid.
Yeah.
Oh man! If you had a game big enough where you're running all 4 IG-2000s and the IG-88D in a 5th ship, that ship is going to be redonkulous.
I mean, that might be what you need to compete with the large ships without having one of your own.
That's true. That's a very good point. The scum doesn't have a large ship. That's a really cool way to kind of see what happened. You've got these 5 ships basically that are all brain linked.
Ability. But but that's really useful for scum.
Why stop there? Let's give him a toddy mind link or whatever. Just moving on. Last but not least, again, veteran instincts.
Yeah.
So we've seen that card before. Ever popular,
Ever popular, great with Shadowcaster again.
Yep. Yep. Speaking of Shadowcaster, let's take a look at the pilots real quick. Just gonna slide these out of the way. Abe's got the pilot cards ready to go. All right. So we've got a 2, 5, a 6, and a 7. And we'll go through these pretty quick just to keep this video relatively short. We've got the Shadowport Hunter, just a regular Lancer class. We're again looking at the stats on the ship. It has a 3 dice primary, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
2 agility, again, big ships. That's not bad. 7 hull, 3 shields.
I mean, it's not cheap, but it's a pretty good big ship. It's got a lot of hit points.
Yeah.
It's offensive, and it can still dodge.
Yep. Lots of actions, focus, target lock, evade, which is nice.
Yep.
And then, of course, the turret action. That's what that new symbol is.
Right.
To move the turret. And then we've got passenger and 2 illicit slots.
Yeah, 2 illicit slots pretty cool.
Which you could do some cool stuff with. We've seen some cool illicits come into the play, literally, in the past couple waves. So, next up, Sabine Wren. Same deal. No elite pilot talent.
Right.
But same stuff across the board. Abe, your theory's holding up about points and pilot skills, by the way. It's 3 more points, pilot skill points, for 2 points.
For 2 points and an ability.
So
I mean, honestly, I would almost always take her, unless those 2 points are really what you're scraping by.
Right.
She's really a better, or you want to giant blocker or something.
Her ability, when defending against an enemy ship inside your mobile firing arc at range 1 or 2, you may add 1 focus to your result roll. And again, that's defending against a ship.
Right.
So, yeah, if you're going to defend, and you passenger-wise, you maybe take the recon specialist, so you have 2 focus to blow.
To focus. It's a good one to have with the auto stabilization, the one that lets you move your firing arc when you're moving, so you can make sure you got that mobile firing arc in the right place.
Oh yeah, that's just the title. The gyroscopic. Yeah. I got you.
So you make sure you got that in the right place. Yeah, she's a nifty little ship, and like I said, for 2 more points for the extra the extra abilities, I'd mostly want to take that over the Shadow Point Hunter unless I was taking 2 of them.
Unless you were just out of points for some reason. Ventress, this is one of your favorites, right?
I love Ventress.
So what do the honors in this one, Abe?
She's got pilot skill 6.
Yep.
And then her ability is at the start of your combat phase, you may choose a ship at range 1 to 2 of you. If it is inside your mobile firing arc, assign 1 stress token to it.
Huh, so now we've got a way to maybe tack on a stress, tack on
maybe do some slicing over there.
Yeah. Tack on that stress, tack on the tractor beam token. Mm-hmm. You just got to find a way to get an ion on them.
Yeah, and she does get an EPT on there too.
Yep. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Last but not least, Ketsu. Pretty good one, I think. At the start of combat phase, you may choose a ship at range 1. If it is in your primary and mobile firing arc, assign a tractor beam token to it. So they just get a tractor beam token, and that's before you fire. It's the start of the phase. So it's actually going to start. You can do that where you lock on with the tractor beam, you actually pull it towards you to get it closer, or maybe you throw it into an asteroid or whatever. Mm-hmm. But what's cool about that is that it now has the tractor beam token assigned to it, which means it's -1 agility when you want to shoot it. And it's going to be in both your primary and mobile.
You can put another tractor beam token on it if you want later.
Yep, you can load it up with 2 tractor beam tokens, and then, I mean, Ketsu's going at the 7, so probably close to the top of the round.
Yep.
When he starts unloading.
Go 9 if you want. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
Or again, you could do Ketsu and then another Lancer with the Shadowcaster if you wanted to put.
Yeah,
that's almost all your points, but if you want to have 2 ships that can throw a lot of different tractors out there, you can do that. Sadly, you can't take her as a crew also and keep those tokens around.
I almost would put Ketsu in maybe like Ventress or Sabine. Just put him in there.
Keep that all in there, yeah.
Yeah, just to get the tractor beam locked on there constantly. Anyway, Shadowcaster's a really cool ship. Looks great. It's got some interesting mechanics. Now that we've seen all the cards, I kind of get a better feel of how this ship's going to work.
Yeah, it's a little. Again, I would say Knight the Conqueror Dawn. It's maybe a little more of a intermediate advanced ship.
I can see that. Yeah.
It's kind of complicated in how it works. So maybe not best if you're brand new. But it's a good ship to learn on. It's forgiving enough. Really,
yeah, it's got enough hull and shields.
Yeah, it's not just going to vanish. But it does have, with the debris clouds and with the mobile fire arc, it's a little tricky with some of the rules. Yeah. So just make sure you've read those, I guess.
Yeah, study up before you jump in. But other than that, Shadowcaster, very cool ship for Wave 9. Hope you've enjoyed this Wave 9 series. I'm AdamHarry from BoLS.
And I'm Stable Abe.
Thanks again for watching. Have a good one.